Hey guys, so in this video we're going to take a look at a method called completing the square. And this method is used to solve quadratic equations. Now there are other ways of solving quadratic equations. We can use factorizing. We can also use the quadratic formula. And if you like, I can go through those methods in other videos. But in this video we're going to focus on completing the square. The best way for me to show you how to do this is just to talk you through a couple of examples. So our first example is x squared plus 6x plus 5 equals 21. Now step 1, and I think I'll use a different colour pen to highlight. Right, so step 1 is to rewrite the first part of the equation. So we're going to try and write x squared plus 6x in a different way. And the way to do that is to have an open bracket, x plus, and then we halve the coefficient of x. And by coefficient, all I mean is the number that comes before x. So half of 6 is 3, and then we square all of that. Now if we're going to evaluate what x plus 3 squared is, then we get x squared plus 6x plus 9. And I've actually skipped a couple of steps here, so if you want to know how to multiply or how to square brackets, then make sure you check out my other video. But here we have x squared plus 6x plus 9, but what we really want is x squared plus 6x. So what we need to do is to subtract the 9. And by subtracting the 9, we now get x squared plus 6x. So that is exactly the same as that. Now what we do next is we just rewrite the rest of the equation. So we have plus 5 equals 21. So now we're going to evaluate what we have. Minus 9 plus 5 is equal to minus 4. And that equals 21. Next, we carry the minus 4 over to this side. So to do this, we just add 4 to both sides of the equation. Because remember, whatever you do to one side of the equation, you have to do to the other side as well. So now we get x plus 3 squared is equal to 25. And our aim is to get a value for x. So what we need to do next is to find the square root of both sides of the equation. So if we square root x plus 3 squared, we get x plus 3. Now the square root of 25, we need to be careful here because usually people just put 5, but we need to remember that minus 5 is also the square root of 25. So our answers are plus and minus 5. And next, to get x on its own, all we do is x equals minus 3 plus or minus 5. And we got that by carrying the 3 over. Now, because we have it in the form of x equals, people usually think that they've answered the question, but we still need to evaluate this. So we're going to have two solutions. One of the solutions is minus 3 plus 5, which equals 2. And the other solution is minus 3 minus 5, which equals minus 8. So here are our two solutions for x. And if we were to put these values back into the original equation, then it's going to work. Okay, so let's take a look at one more example, just to make sure that we've got the hang of it. Okay, so our next example is x squared minus 10x plus 22 is equal to 33. Now step 1 is exactly the same as what we did earlier on. We're going to try and rewrite the first part of the equation, x squared minus 10x. So what we do is we write x. This time we have a minus number. So the coefficient of x is minus 10, Half of minus 10 is minus 5. And then we square it. So again, if we work out the value for x minus 5 squared, we are going to get x squared plus 25 minus 10x. So x squared plus 25 minus 10x, but all we want is x squared minus 10x. So we have an extra 25 here that we don't want. So what we're going to do is we're going to subtract the 25. And by subtracting the 25, we now have x squared minus 10x. So that is equal to that. Then we just add 22 and then equate that to 33. So x minus 5 squared minus 25 plus 22 is minus 3. And that equals 33. So the next step is to carry the minus 3 over. And we do that by adding 3 to both sides of the equation. This is going to give us x minus 5 squared is equal to 36. Next step again is to square root both sides. So that's going to give us x minus 5 is equal to, and again we're going to have two values. We're going to have plus and minus 6. So x minus 5 is equal to plus and minus 6. Our next step is to carry the minus 5 over by adding 5 to both sides. This is going to give us 5 plus or minus 6. So our solutions are going to be x equals 5 plus 6, which is 11, or 5 minus 6, which equals minus 1. And these are our two solutions. So if you were to put either x equals 11 or x equals minus 1 into one of the original equations, then it's going to work. So that is the end of the video, guys. I really hope you found it useful. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for more maths tutorials, and also let me know if you have any requests. Let me know in the comments below for a future video I can do. Thanks for watching.